Still fucking toothless. How long is this process gonna take? So I went in today and they took molds of my top and bottom teeth. They took molds of my top and bottom teeth. So that was cool. Uh, I will have the 27th, I go back. So by then I should have my teeth, my tooth. And I'm only getting a tooth replacement for this tooth. So I thought I was going to have to get like all these teeth pulled. And no, I don't. I only have to have that one. And I had her shave this tooth down because it was so much taller than the rest of my teeth. So I told her, I said, you're not going to let me leave here with that tooth flipping the world off, are you? And she was like, and I was like, yeah, shave that bitch. Shave that tooth, please. Thank you very much. And so she did. And now I will be toothless till the 27th now. I'm getting used to not having the damn thing. By the time I get the damn tooth, I'm not going to want it no more. No, I'm too vain to not want it. Say hi, Paco. There's the co-host. We're chilling today, you guys. My husband's home for work because he had off today. We didn't know he was going to have off, but he got off today. And so me and Nate and Neil are just chilling at the house. Nate is out of school because of parent-teacher conferences. It's true. Listen to me. I might be a chubby girl, but I still know I'm good looking, honey. And so I need my tooth. I can't be chubby and toothless. That's too many negatives. That fucking shit don't add up. You know what I'm saying? Now listen to me. If you're chubby and toothless, don't get your feelings hurt. That's just my opinion for me. For me, okay? I can't be chubby and toothless. So don't be tripping. But I did have him shave that motherfucker down, dude. Like, it was so tall. Like, the reason why that tooth was so tall, I didn't know this, is because this tooth right here, it's not attached to my jawbone anymore. It's like literally just floating in my gums. But my gums are healthy around that tooth. See, this is where my gum went. This is where, right there, that tooth, my gums had receded so far down from that tooth that the tooth started to get really, really loose. And that's what happened. It got really, really loose. So I got this fucking zit right here, dude. It's pissing me off. Now it's just like a little scab. Hey guys, what's up, everybody? Jenna, you want to come lay with me? Hold on, let me go get the little crippled dog, y'all. Come here. Come here. I'm gonna let you come lay with Mama. Come on, cripple. Come on, Crippy. Come lay down with Paco in the mountain of pillows. Okay? Here you go. There you go. There you go. Lay down. You can lay down. You're safe here. Okay? With Mama. Okay? Okay. So, anyway, sorry about that. That's what's going on. I'll be glad when I get this tooth. This is part of being a drug addict, you guys. If you're a drug addict in recovery and you think that you have escaped unscathed with all your teeth, think again, motherfucker, because that's what I thought too. I remember I would watch all my friends whose teeth were falling out of their head or rotting out of their head, and I was like, my teeth, I must have good genes. No, go to the dentist, have them do an x-ray. Have them do an x-ray on your motherfucking mouth. See what's happening then. It's all undercover. You don't know what's happening. And that's what happened to me. It was undercover. I I just seen your short about the methadone shortage and I'm freaking out. Where did you find the original video? On TikTok. On TikTok, just type in methadone shortage and the pharmacist's video will pop up. He's a pharmacist. He owns a pharmacy. He's talking about the pill methadone though, so hopefully if you like go to the methadone clinic, you'll be okay. You know what I mean? I joke around a lot, you guys, because honestly, if I don't joke about it, I'll cry. You know, because like I said, I'm too vain to be, you know, missing a tooth. Damn, I'm hot, dude. It's like the heat just came on for some reason. Hold on, let me go fix this. Watch the dogs for me. Woo! Are you hot, baby? I'm hot. Yeah, the heat came on for some reason. It was coming on with a force to be reckoned with heat. So, yeah, I thought I was unscathed too, you guys. I don't want y'all to have to see my chubby bunny body. I thought I had escaped unscathed with my teeth. Yeah, if you have done drugs for as many years as I've done drugs, and you stop taking care of your teeth around 30 years old, you might be in the same predicament I'm in. Really? I did not get out unscathed. What did you say, Coralie? What happened to you? I just seen your short video. I just shared the live. Oh, thanks, Allie. Licenses for drug companies. Yeah. Don't be worried. I know a lot. I didn't mean to make y'all scared or anything. You know, a lot of people were talking about what if Suboxone goes into a shortage, you know, and that's what I'm thinking. Like, if it does, like getting on Sublocade could help a lot of people, you know, but a lot of people's insurance won't pay for the Sublocade. And that's why a lot of people are not on it yet, because we can't get our insurance to pay for it, you know? So that's the issue, you know? Let me pull my hair up. Man, this hair is just too long, y'all. Too long. Did y'all see Luke is live right now? I didn't mean to come on here and bust up his live. I just wanted to come on here and let y'all know what's going on with my teeth, and that I got to wait till the 27th. They took the molds though, so that means that we're in the works, and they're not going to pull any of my other teeth. So I'm really grateful for that. I was worried that they were going to have to pull, because when I first went in there, my first appointment, they scared the shit out of me. They were talking about taking these two teeth and these two teeth and all this stuff, right? And I'm like, 4 teeth? Why? They're in my. They're not coming out of my head. They're all in there good. The only tooth that was fucked up was this one tooth. And I'm thinking, why are they wanting to take all my motherfucking teeth? Yeah, you will, Nicole. It doesn't matter if it's Suboxone or Subutex. You're gonna have to stop taking methadone for about 5 days before you can even think about taking Subutex. Because the medication, a lot of people think that it's the naloxone that makes you go into precipitated withdrawal. That's not the truth. It's the buprenorphine. If buprenorphine has a higher affinity to your opioid receptors, and it's actually what goes into your system and pushes all the other stuff off. When you take Suboxone sublingually, it's like less than 2% bioavailability of the naloxone. What I mean by that is it's not really getting into your system. It doesn't cross the blood-brain barrier. Oh, my dentist is so cool. I said, you're not going to let me walk out of here with this tooth flipping the world off. This one, it used to be up here, like that tall. And she goes, no, we'll get that bitch in line. And she got the filer thing. She's like, She's really cool. I like her a lot. She's the same ethnicity as Dr. B, and she has beautiful black hair. I was like, y'all got me fucked up if y'all are sending me out of here with this fucking long ass tooth. I was like, how are you gonna make me a tooth to match up to my other teeth with this one tooth going? You know what I mean? Like that tooth has literally drove me insane for all my life. All my life. Ever since it shifted, I had braces. Okay, so here's the story. When I was in ninth or 10th grade, I had braces. Okay, I wore my braces for like a year and a half, 2 years, and then I got them off. I did not wear my retainer and my teeth started shifting. And that's what happened. That's why my teeth, hey, what's up? My teeth went like this to the little crookedness that they are at the bottom now. And this tooth, I cannot wait to have. So they had me pick a color. Y'all, I didn't realize how yellow my teeth are. I guess because I'm brown, they kind of look white. Oh, that's a piece of that mold. Ugh. Like I legit had that mold stuff in my mouth. Sorry, guys. I didn't realize how yellow my teeth were, but because I'm brown, they look kind of white. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not white. If I was white, they'd look real yellow. But that's from years and years of smoking crack, smoking coke, smoking meth, smoking everything. It's expensive, y'all. Hey, Wildflower Tea, what's up, girl? It's expensive. It was $560 today I had to pay out of pocket. And I have insurance. I have insurance through the government, dude. My husband works for the fucking feds, the federal government. You know what I mean? And I'm over here paying almost $600. Luckily for me, that nice lady sent me that money to help me with my teeth. And so I took that money and I put it in savings. So that way I used her money to pay for my teeth today. So I'm not even going to lie to y'all and say that it was my money because it wasn't. She gave it to me. A lady from Facebook gave me the money to pay for my teeth. I was just talking about getting my teeth fixed and everything. And she messaged me and said, how much do you need? And I was thinking she was going to send me like $50 or something, you know, towards the price. No, honey. No. She sent me $1,200 fucking dollars for that shit. So she's paying for my teeth to get fixed. All her money is what's paying for it. So I'm not even going to act like it's me paying for it. And I'm going to make a video to thank her when I get it all set up and put in. I'm going to make a video especially just for her on Facebook to let her know how grateful I am for her helping me, because I don't have that money laying around to just shell out for my teeth. You know what I mean? And so I was really grateful that she did that. Because that was like really, really, really nice, you know? And the way she explained it to me was that her daughter lost her teeth on meth. And she's been trying to talk her daughter into going to the dentist to get them fixed, but her daughter is deathly afraid of the dentist, and she will not go no matter what. And so she said, I've been wanting to give this money to my daughter for her teeth. If she's not going to get her teeth fixed, I'll find somebody else that needs it. And I was like, she goes, I was just scrolling on Facebook and you were talking about needing your teeth fixed and you had that missing tooth. And I was like, that's the girl I'm going to help. And I was like, damn, that's fucking amazing, dude. That is the power of social media, you guys. Like, truly, truly, truly the power of social media. If you're like, and that's why I don't ever come on here. You don't ever catch me asking for grifting or trying to get donations or anything like that. I will say, join my Patreon, join my membership. But that's because we're doing a live stream every Friday for just patrons and members. But I will never come on here begging people for money. I will never come on here shaking my... Donations, please. Donations, please. Just 1 penny, please. Shaking my little tip cup at people. Fuck that bullshit. I work hard for my money, you know, and I know you guys do too. Her name is Kathleen. So when y'all will see the video on the 27th is when I get I think they'll have it all put together so I can put it in my mouth. And so I will make a video for her. It's going to be a really good video. It's going to be the whole, you know, from the beginning, from me looking like this, even before this, to that. So that way she can see everything. Excuse me. Really? I didn't know that, Nicole. It's not so much that I was afraid of the dentist, you guys. It's just that, like, I didn't realize how much damage my addiction done to my teeth. I just, and listen to me, please nobody get offended, but I cannot stand an e-bagger, okay? Like, I do not like that. Like, we all are out here struggling, okay? We're all out here struggling to make ends meet. All right. So if I can put up videos 24/7, 7 days a week with my missing tooth to try to make me a little bit extra money, then so can anybody else, you know? If I can work at a sandwich shop for 3 years in my early sobriety, so can somebody else. If I can work for Hallmark in my early sobriety, so can somebody else. And I'm a felon. So there's no excuses. There's no excuses. I'm a felon. I had no car. Okay, I had to walk. Me and my son, I put him in the stroller and we were bebopping on down the road, honey. Okay, I had to make do with what I had. And so it's just so crazy though nowadays. It's like people are not willing to put in the work that they have to put in, y'all. It's like everybody is looking for the easy fucking way out, you know? And I truly believe that putting in work, it builds character, dude, and it makes you really fucking grateful for what you do have. You know? It really, really does. Yeah, and it's fine. Like if you have viewers who want to send you tips or donations, and you have your Venmo or Cash App or PayPal just in there, you know, like it will come up every few minutes or whatever. That's fine. I totally believe in that. But I do not like it when I see people who are like, I can't pay my electricity bill this month. Well, girl, what you been doing? Are you working? All I do is see you at home all day making YouTube videos. So if you're not working, then that would mean that you need to disconnect from the internet for a little bit, go get a job so you can pay that electricity bill. Okay? Okay. You know who I want to talk about real fast, you guys? What about the Slayton sisters? What about Tammy and Amy Slayton? Do y'all remember way back in the day when they first started on YouTube and Amy put together a fake funeral for Tammy saying that she died? And all these people were sending money in, right? Now look at them. They're rich. They're fucking living high on the hog, 1,000-ton sisters or whatever. Like, who would have thought that they could become famous from being fat? Is that all it takes, honey? Neil, make me some more food. I gotta gain some weight. I'm trying to go on my 600-pound life. Get to work. Do you know? Like, damn.
I guess the quicker you die of diabetes, the quicker I can go out and find somebody else.
Neil said, the quicker you die of diabetes, the quicker I can go out and find somebody else. Well, you know, that's my fear, is that I'm going to be diabetic because my blood pressure is so high now. What is wrong with me, you guys? Like, I don't know why I'm having high blood pressure all of a sudden out of nowhere.
Did they say your high blood pressure was up today?
Oh, my heartbeat's 122. And that's standing still.
Make an appointment for Dr. Pounder. Was it not high when you went to Dr. Pounder's a couple months back?
No, it's always been a little elevated, but not like it is now. It's like my heart rate's always elevated. It's like usually like 109, but it's my number underneath that they're concerned about. It's almost to 100. It's supposed to be like 80. I've lost weight too. So listen to me. Let me go get my other phone so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. I was going back through some of my Patreon videos from years and years and years ago, like 2-3 years ago, right? And I had made a Patreon video to update you guys. And at the time, we were doing workouts with my friend, Nick. Nick was personally training us, okay? And if y'all don't know who Nick is, he has a channel called Out of Fear Gang. And he just recently came out as gay, probably like a year and a half ago. And he's so cute and so nice, and he's buff. He's got a six-pack, everything. And he was personally training me on live streams, and we were working out together. Like, I was doing it on live, you guys, for all of the world to see. My fat ass, okay? Sweating and huffing and puffing and everything, okay? So I was going back through the videos to look and see, like, what I weighed back then. Back then, I was weighing 230 pounds, dude. Like, I'm 30 pounds smaller than I was back then. And that was 2 years ago. So I'm kind of proud of myself, you know? I don't think we realize, like, when we're losing weight, like, slowly over a long period of time, I don't think we realize, like, that we're losing weight like that, you know? And so at that time, I was checking in with you guys, and I was like, so this is how much I paid today, $540.15, and that's how much I owe, $415. So it's about $900. And I got you some paperwork to fill out too, Neil, so you can get into a point, or so you'll have that paperwork when you go in to see the dentist. But anyway, I didn't realize that I mean, I've gradually been losing weight, but just very, very slowly. Very slowly. Oh, really? My mama drinks that bulletproof coffee, bulletproof coffee. My mama drinks that. Bex, she is like, my mom, she's not skinny now, but she lost a bunch of weight. Now she's back on her weight loss journey. That's how it is in my family. Like, we all really just like to eat a lot. It's just straight up what it is. We love to eat food. Food is good. And so we really struggle with our weight, you know, because of our enjoyment of food. It's like, isn't it keto? That bulletproof coffee, isn't that keto? Hey girl, I have they took my molds today, you guys. I still have no tooth, but they shaved this one down for me because it was really tall. That was this tooth right here, y'all. I would get made fun of for it so bad on TikTok all the time. Honestly, like, TikTok really gave me thick skin for social media, because being on social media, I never really got a lot of hate over here on YouTube because y'all are my people and we're just cool like that. And we all get along, and, you know, usually on YouTube, it's like people that want to be here, you know? Well, over on TikTok, anybody can see your shit. It goes out there to the For You page, and then the next thing you know, it's going on. It's craziness, you know? And so I would get made fun of so bad for my teeth. So bad. But you know what's so crazy? Is that since I've lost this tooth, no one has said shit to me. Maybe they feel bad for me. Work It Health? Is that what you're talking about? Work It Health is a telehealth place. I work for Recovery Delivered. It's also a telehealth place. But Work It Health and Recovery Delivered are both doing online ADHD medication treatment, weight loss medication treatment. What else do they do? Oh, yeah. Hormone replacement therapy, testosterone therapy, and sexually transmitted infection appointments. Dr. B. Dr. B is the coolest doctor this side of the Mississippi, y'all. He's the coolest doctor ever lived. If you ever have to get help for your addiction, he's a fucking cool doctor. He will not judge you. He will not look down on you for struggling. He is so understanding and just so relatable. That's why I love him. That's why I fucks with Dr. B. That's why we work together, because he is the shit. And don't worry, I've told him all this to his face. I've told him he's the shit. That's how I got my job, is my job working with Dr. B, you guys, was so Austin owns a company called Socialty Pro, and it's a marketing company, and he is Dr. B's social media marketer, right? Well, Austin found me on YouTube and was watching my YouTube growth, right? And the way that I grew my channel is exactly what you see me doing right now. Live streaming, bitch. I would live stream like every single day, Monday through Friday. Sometimes 2 or 3 times in a day. Especially when I first got sober, because I was struggling. I was all by myself. My husband was working like all the time at Kroger, so he was never home, and it was just me and Nate. And so I would get lonely, and so I would go live and talk to you guys. Well, Austin found me here, and then Dr. B found me, and they started watching me, and they've watched me for years. They know exactly how I speak. They know I cuss like a sailor, but they also know that I have a heart of gold, and that I will do anything I can to help anybody with addiction problems. Anybody. Okay. And so I always see people like trying to like reach out to my bosses to like get me in trouble and stuff. Cause I guess because of the way I talk, I don't know. But that's what makes me the way I am, is that I do talk like a regular person, like I'm not some professional. I'm just a regular girl like y'all, I'm just a regular person. So, I remember this one time, this lady, she was stalking my shit. She's fucking like 50 years old, like straight up harassing me. Not the one that died, but another one. And she went behind my back and sent a message to Dr. B, not knowing that all his messages come to me. So I'm going through his emails, right, to see who I need to answer back to. And there's this lady talking shit about me. And I was like, let me go ahead and screenshot this, send it right over to Dr. B. So I screenshot it. I sent it right over to him. I'm like, hey, this bitch is talking shit about me. What do you want me to do? And he's like, I don't know, handle it. Like, I'm not a doctor. I've never claimed to be a doctor. I'm just a person on here who loves Dr. B, looks up to him. He's my coworker and mentor. He's my boss. He's everything, And so it's just, I'm a fucking work in progress. Well, how did I handle it? Honestly, how did I handle it? I reached out to her privately first, and I was like, hey, I just want to let you know that every message that is sent to Dr. B's email, it comes to me because I manage all that stuff for him. And she was like, oh, you know what I mean? And then she started going on this tirade, making video after video after video about me. This is the woman who called CPS on me. For those of you guys that don't know, this was over on TikTok. So she started making like attack videos about me, saying that I was a danger to the recovery community, just bullshit. And it's like, this is why I never became a professional. This is why I never got my degree in anything, because people try to hold me to a standard of a professional, and I'm not one. If I was a therapist or a counselor or something like that, I wouldn't be able to make the content that I do today. And I know that to be true 100%. Ethically, I would not be able to make the content that I make. I would not be able to do any of the things that I do online, because I would be held to this professional standard, So this lady was supposed to be a therapist. She was calling herself a therapist on TikTok, right? And so she was going around calling herself a therapist. So we all started doing some research on her, because I was like, there's no way this woman is like really a therapist, but then like attacking me, right? She wasn't a therapist at all. And it was just like a whole Looney Tune breakdown crazy time. She had actually came online and looked up my friend Richie's prescription medications and broke HIPAA and made a video about him being prescribed these certain medications, right? So we had that video put in our back pocket for later, if we needed it. When I tell you, you can ask my husband, it was over a year of this lady just harassing me. Hold on, Ben. I'm trying to see what you're saying. If you call that number, the kind of insurance that Dr. B takes is Medi-Cal Monarch, okay? If you call that number, there's going to be a voicemail. It's going to be my voice. It's going to say, please text Nicole at 501-258-1833. If I don't answer it, it's either because I'm like I am right now or I'm, on the other line. So text that number and then I can tell you exactly what you need. But all you need is Medi-Cal Monarch or Medi-Cal or Medicare, okay, if you're older. And as far as like PPO insurances, we're not like in network with any specific PPO insurances. So if you have a PPO insurance and you want to see him for addiction treatment, what would happen is your deductible would have to be met, and then it would end up, you would just pay your copay or whatever. But he is in network with the Medi-Cal program, Medi-Cal Monarch, which is through Orange County. Sorry, I wasn't trying to ignore your message. But it was so scary because I was just like, man, this lady is coming for me hard, right? Not from out of state. Like, he takes Medicare, but not Medicaid, and not from out of state. Like, anybody that's out of state, you guys has to pay cash to him. The only way we've ever been able to take insurance from anybody out of state was when he was running an outpatient program, and we don't have that program anymore. Like, he's strictly just seeing people at his medical office, which is his doctor's office. He does mat treatment. He does alcohol detoxes. He does benzo tapers. He does, we have people that come off kratom that we help taper off kratom. We have people that get on the Suboxone shot, like that kind of stuff. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I tried to talk to her like an adult, but she didn't want to hear that. So that's when she went on that tirade. Well, she called CPS on me, and she was actually messaging some women that I was mutual friends with for a while. And those ladies, they got really upset. Hey, Ann, what's up? They got really upset and they messaged me and they were like, hey, we want to send these screenshots to you of this girl saying she called CPS on you. And I was like, if y'all don't know my background from my past, I lost custody of my son because I was in active addiction. I'm not in active addiction anymore, obviously, but when I was, it was like a really big deal. Me and my husband, we jumped through fucking hoops. Okay? When I tell you, the minute they took my son away, I did not pass go. I did not collect $200. I did not go get high one last time. I fucking went straight into detox. I told my caseworker, I looked at her dead in the eye. I said, take me to fucking detox, bitch. You know what I mean? Like, this woman quit a week later. She took my son, put him in foster care, and then quit a week later. Quit her job. Okay? That's how these people are in CPS. My son had a grandmother and a grandfather who were willing to take him into their custody. And they would have rather put my son in a stranger's home because CPS is the motherfucking devil. And they're not there to help you. If you're a drug addict and CPS gets called on you, do not tell them a motherfucking thing. Keep your fucking mouth shut. Okay? I thought that they were there to help me. So y'all know what I did. I was like, I've been struggling with addiction for this many years and I need help. I was telling them my whole life story. And it was the worst thing I could have ever done because they literally used my own admissions of my own struggles to build a case against me. Now I know why my husband was like, I ain't saying shit to y'all. My husband was like, nope. And I was just telling him my whole life story because I really thought these people are going to help me. They're going to put me into treatment. They're going to help me to have a better life. No, I had to do all that on my own. I had to find my own rehab center, everything. Okay, good, Ben. I'm glad that I'm sorry. Like, did you email me to? Did you email Dr. B? Because I did send somebody my cell phone number who had emailed him too. And I'm really, really sorry. I just am overwhelmed. I'll be honest with you. That phone never stops ringing, honey. It never stops ringing. And so sometimes I have to take a little bit of a few minutes away from it or else I'll go crazy. What about taking drug tests for CPS? Okay, here's how it went. They came to me, they said, I need you to take a drug test. I said, okay, and I pissed in a cup and failed. I have never had a test come up inconclusive with CPS. I was literally involved with CPS for almost a little bit over a year, probably like 14 months. And I never had a test come up inconclusive, ever, for CPS. I would just pee in the cup because I wasn't trying to hide it. I wasn't trying to dilute my pee. I wasn't drinking any kind of drinks that were going to, affect my urine. They literally have a cup right there, you guys, that will tell you what you have in your piss. They don't have to send it off to a lab. They don't have to do any of that, right, Neil? Because they drug test you before you see your children. If you fail, you can't go into visitation to see your children. So they have all the technology right there to see, if you are going to pass or not. So if you keep on coming up inconclusive, it's because you're doing something to mess with your urine.
Or you're drinking way too much water and it's.
Oh, yeah. So, Ben, yeah. So we had that outpatient program for a really long time. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. Dr. B was just stretched so thin between multiple different centers because he also works at a clinic in Hollywood. And so we did have it for about 2 years, but it was just not conducive. It wasn't working out. And so we just went ahead and shut it down and we just do the medication management and like the detoxes and stuff at the office. Was Nate's foster family good to him? They were the motherfucking best people that my son could have ever been placed with besides his own grandma and grandpa. When I tell you, it was like, but here, this is what happened for my son to get to them. My son had to be placed in like 3 different homes and a respite home because when CPS took custody of my son, they had nowhere for him to go. They had no plan of action. So he had to go into a respite home, which is like a place where there's just like a bunch of other kids, right? It's like a nursing home basically for children, you know? And so they had nowhere for Nate to go at all. So he had to bounce back and forth between there and then like 2 other houses, I think, until he found this permanent housing that they found for him. Now, the permanent housing that they found for him was a young couple. They were a little bit younger than me and Neil. They didn't have any kids of their own. And they had one foster care placement, which was a little girl, which was like a year and a half to 2 years older than Nate. And so it worked out perfectly because Nate had like another kid to play with and all that kind of stuff. Why wouldn't they let him go to his grandparents' house? Let me tell you the excuse that CPS from Arkansas told us. CPS from Arkansas said, your mother and father-in-law are too old. They were 60. And my mother-in-law, y'all, how old's your mom? 70 something now?
Yeah.
70 something years old. She'd be bowling on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights. She'd be having parties over at her house. She is the most active old woman I've ever met in my whole entire life.
Yeah, they didn't even like give them an opportunity. They didn't observe them or anything. They just said like, oh, no, y'all are too old. And it was like, what? I didn't even know that would be a situation.
Right. They didn't even give my mother and father-in-law a chance to even at all. It was really fucked up, you guys. So at the end of the day, what I believe was going on is because listen, me and my husband might have been using drugs, you guys, but we never left our son in harm's way. Okay. We never hurt our child. my little boy, okay, so at the time, we all lived in the same house. It was me and my husband who were using drugs, and my mother and father in law. We all lived underneath the same roof, okay? My mother and father in law were either going to have a new house built or they were trying to buy a new one, okay? And so eventually, what happened is they found a new house that had already been built, and they moved out of that house, and we stayed in their old house. Okay, so we always had somebody there watching over our son. We weren't just like high and like running the streets and leaving Nate to be fend for himself at all. Okay, like my mother and father-in-law were there at all times. They always had my son. Like whenever I would run away for like a week, my son would be with his Gigi and his dad and his grandpa, you know? CPS is horrible, you guys. Like, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. And the reason why it's so bad is because it's normal, regular people like you and me deciding the fate of children, deciding whether or not you're a good mother or you're a good father. Do you understand what I'm saying? From what? From the outside looking in, from the little bit of, you know.
And then all the classes we would go to, the people would tell us, like, oh, yeah, this is the second, third time CPS has been, in our family. They're like, oh, well, where'd they take your kid? They didn't take them. And I mean, you could smell marijuana, so you knew they'd been smoking weed.
I'm gonna be straight up with y'all, and y'all know I'm not prejudiced, but here in Arkansas, it's all black kids that are in this. In our experience, it was all black people that were in this parenting classes with us, right? And so we would ask them, like, "Did your kids get taken away?" And they're like, "Oh, we've had CPS in our life for like 3 years, and we have custody of our kids still." And they would reek of marijuana, and we're like, "So you have your kids in your custody, and you smell like marijuana." And you've had them you've had CPS in your life for how many years, and their kids not taken away? To me, it was very opportunistic of CPS to take our son because it was a money-making situation for them. Okay, that's why they denied my mother and father-in-law custody, because if my son went with the mother and father-in-law, then he would not get funding. My mother and father-in-law would run the shit. But because he went into foster care, they were able to collect money on my son. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so it was just real fucked up. We would be in these classes with people, and there was a couple white tweakers in there, but they never had their kids. The white tweakers' kids always got taken away. It was just real weird like that. And maybe because the black people that had their kids taken away were only smoking weed. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But it was real kind of just like fishy. You know what I mean? Like, I can understand having your kid taken away for, smoking pot one time, but like having CPS in your life for like 3 or 4 years, that's crazy, dude. Like, I was trying to get them out of my life as fast as I could, It was just real, it was real weird.
Most of them had multiple kids. They didn't have jobs. They were, on economic, health.
On welfare, and we weren't. Yeah. We had jobs. We worked hard.
And it just didn't. It just seemed completely.
And I think that's why they took our kid, because we did make money, and we were like going to fight for our son. And I think that they were like judging people like this. Like, I think that CPS would see, hey, this family here is minority family, Mexican, Black, Asian, whatever. They're on welfare. They're not working. They're not going to fight for their kids. So we're just not going to mess with them. But then they would come to us, and we're like working jobs and like have money and have our like house and stuff. But they would take our kid away and put him in foster care. I don't know how they do it or what their rhyme or reason for it. It seemed real weird. Like, it was like purposeful. You know what I mean? Like, they purposely left the little black kids in the bad situations and took all the little white babies because they could sell off the little white babies faster. Do you know what I'm saying? And you guys, like, I'm serious. Like, y'all know how I am. I'm half Mexican. I'm half Italian. I'm not a prejudiced fucking person. But from the outside looking in, from my point of view, that's what it seemed like. Like, they didn't want to take the black kids. They wanted to take all the white kids. And you could, here in Arkansas, it's real bad. But anyway, I don't want to talk on that subject because I don't ever want to like offend anybody or make anybody feel any type of way.
They went even farther on us. Like, they did, even though we were like, yes, I'm the paternal.
They gave my husband a fucking paternity test.
Yeah, paternity test, and then they did hair follicle, which is expensive and costs taxpayers money. because it's just not a normal thing. And all the other people in those classes, they're like, hair follicle test.
We didn't have to take hair follicle tests, and we're like, why not? Why wouldn't they have to take hair follicle tests? We did. We had to have all these things done. And like my husband was there in the emergency room when I gave birth to my son. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was real weird, y'all. My son had my husband's last name, Ploudre, you know? Oh no, Ray, I am so sorry that happened. And look at me. I don't want nobody's babies to get taken away, because at the end of the day, I believe that like your kids should be with their parents. But if this is I believe that the only time kids should be taken away is when there is like sexual abuse, physical abuse, outright open to the eye negligence. I'm talking not feeding your kid, not bathing your kid, like that kind of shit. A person using substances doesn't make them a bad parent. I know a lot of parents who are fucking on a lot of different pills, and they are the best parents in the whole wide world. They are some of your most top-notch soccer moms on Adderall and fucking Xanax at night and drinking their wine, you know? And they are the best parents. They're the best parents. You know, they're great. Just because somebody is on drugs doesn't mean that they're a bad parent. Doesn't mean they're not taking care of their kid. Sure. When we're under the influence of substances, we can't be completely all the way present. I do feel like our kids do know when we're not in our right mind, but I don't think that some people who use drugs are just out of their mind. You know what I mean? When me and Neil were using substances, our son did need to get taken away. We were using a lot of heavy drugs. We were on a lot of heavy fucking narcotics. We were on, you know, opioids, and we were on methamphetamine. We were on Xanaxes. In our defense, we lived with my mother and father-in-law, and they took care of my son for me when I couldn't take care of him myself, you know? And so that's why I think it was so fucked up, because, you know, that was traumatic for my son. My son still has anxiety around me not coming back for him. He thinks that I'm going to forget him at school, and I've never, ever left him anywhere. I've never even been 10 minutes late to pick him up from school. You know, I might be 1 second, and I don't mean late. I mean, my son comes out of the door and he can't see me first thing right there. I'm just right here. I'm not talking about late. I'm on time. I'm early. I'm there early every time to make sure that he doesn't have to worry that I'm not going to be there. And so he was 1 year old when he got taken away from us. And I truly believe that the trauma of being a baby and waking up and not being with your mom and dad had a huge impact on him. And now he has extreme anxiety around being separated from us, you know? So I used to always say, like, oh, my son, he doesn't have any bad reactions, or he's been, but no, I can see it now that he has anxiety around us not being there. And the only thing I can even remotely, you know, relate that to is him waking up at 1 year old and not being with us. And my husband was at work, so I had to take my son with my mother and father-in-law all by myself to give him to these fucking people I didn't even know, you know? All while I am admitting myself into treatment. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I believe my son should have stayed with his grandma and grandpa, and I should have went into treatment. Bada bing, bada boom. You know what I'm saying? That's why I get so frustrated with people with things, because, like, I know a lot of people get worried, and CPS is the last people that you want to call, okay? Like, call somebody's family member, call somebody's mom or dad, call their aunt or uncle, call somebody to step in, a friend that can go to their house and check on them, but don't call CPS. That should not be the first place that you call, because it's such a traumatic experience for all people involved. It really, really is, you guys. Yeah, and I'll say this, like we've had Nathaniel back for years, you guys. We got custody of Nathaniel back in July of 2016. He was taken away in July of 2015 and our case was closed by July 2016. So we got him back, you know. It took us like 10 months to get him back into our custody. And we've had him back ever since. And like I'm there for everything. I go to his school and I pick him up every day and I drop him off every day. I go to his parent teacher conferences. I was on the phone with his teacher last night for an hour talking about his behavior in class with his little buddies. They like to cut up. And but he has got all A's and B's on his report card. And so I'm so proud of him because he's pulling his grades up. And you know, I'm a very plugged in parent. Like I'm there, I work from home. I'm with my son 24/7, 7 days a week. I'm never not with my son, you know? So I do know that there's some people out there that maybe, you know, they don't do what I do, but that doesn't make them a bad parent just because they do things differently. She's right here.
Oh, she's on the bed. Okay.
I had to put her up there because she was twirling around in circles, you know? He's making all A's and B's now. So y'all know last semester he made 1C, I think. And then semester before that, he had made a D and an F. And I was like, ooh, what the hell? So my husband had to sit down with him and tell him, Nate, school is important. I don't think he understood how important school is for his future, you know? And so my husband had to talk with him and started rewarding him for like his good grades. Boom, and he's on it. He's like taking off now. His teacher said he has done a complete turnaround in his like behavior and everything. Now, my son's never been a bad behaviored child. Like, my son's shy. He would never like just be like, ah! He's too embarrassed to do that. But he has little friends in his class that kind of like, they feed off of each other is what they do. Like one will be like, dee, 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 and the other one, you know, and Nate's over there laughing a bit, but he will not like be out there. Like he won't be the one to start it. He's too shy for that. He ain't like his mama at all, obviously. He's like my husband. But anyway, I'm all emotional now. I got to get off here, you guys, and I have to go post for these clients because I'm late today because I had to go to the dentist. But I wanted to come on and tell y'all about my tooth. And like I said, I love you guys. I just want to say this one more time. Like, if CPS is the last place people that you want to get involved, okay, call somebody's family and send them over there because CPS just causes so much trauma. And like I said, I truly do believe that they like target little white babies because I think it's easier for them to get rid of them or something. I don't know. Y'all know the conspiracies and stuff that they say that there's 400,000 children that are in the foster care system. Well, let's find out how much of those kids are white and how much of those kids are Mexican, how much of those kids are black. I want to know the percentages, the statistics. But I felt like Nathaniel was y'all should have seen him when he was little. He had the perfect little round head, green eyes, and he had red hair just like Neil. His hair did not go dark until we got older. Okay? He used to look just like Neil when he was a baby, but now he looks like me. Everybody says he's my twin.
He looked like your dad, too.
Yeah, he did. He looked like my dad, too. But I look just like my dad. I'm my dad's twin, too, you know? But he had red hair and green eyes when he was a little baby. And so he would have been the perfect little leprechaun baby to sell away for $200,000 or something, you know? I'm just glad that me and my husband had enough, we were fucking burnt out on meth, but we knew we didn't want to lose our child. And I truly believe what happens to some people is they either do what me and my husband did and they fucking get to work and they fight for their kid, or having their child getting taken away, it makes them go downhill and they end up not fighting because they're so depressed and they feel broken and it breaks their spirit. That's why I don't believe that if somebody has a drug addiction, that CPS is the answer. So anyway, love you guys. Hey, Wildflower Tea, we're all waiting for your next drop, girl. We saw the short you made, so come on with the tea, bitch. Okay, bye.